Title 1. General Provisions. Definitions and Classifications. Section 1. Title of the Code. This code shall be known as the Corporation Code of the Philippines. Section 2. Corporation defined. A corporation is an artificial being created by operation of law, having the right of succession and the powers, attributes and properties expressly authorized by law or incident to its existence. Section 3. Classes of corporations. Corporations formed or organized under this code may be stock or non-stock corporations. Corporations which have capital stock divided into shares and are authorized to distribute to the holders of such shares dividends or allotments of the surplus profits on the basis of the shares held are stock corporations. All other corporations are non-stock corporations. Section 4. Corporations created by special laws or charters. Corporations created by special laws or charters shall be governed primarily by the provisions of the special law or charter creating them or applicable to them, supplemented by the provisions of this code, insofar as they are applicable. Section 5. Corporators and incorporators, stockholders and members. Corporators are those who compose a corporation, whether as stockholders or as members. Incorporators are those stockholders or members mentioned in the Articles of Incorporation as originally forming and composing the corporation and who are signatories thereof. Corporators in a stock corporation are called stockholders or shareholders. Corporators in a non-stock corporation are called members. Section 6. Classification of shares. The shares of stock corporations may be divided into classes or series of shares, or both, any of which classes or series of shares may have such rights, privileges or restrictions as may be stated in the Articles of Incorporation, provided that no share may be deprived of voting rights except those classified and issued as preferred or redeemable shares, unless otherwise provided in this code, provided, further, that there shall always be a class or series of shares which have complete voting rights. Any or all of the shares or series of shares may have a par value or have no par value as may be provided for in the Articles of Incorporation, provided, however, that banks, trust companies, insurance companies, public utilities, and building and loan associations shall not be permitted to issue no par value shares of stock. Preferred shares of stock issued by any corporation may be given preference in the distribution of the assets of the corporation in case of liquidation and in the distribution of dividends, or such other preferences as may be stated in the Articles of Incorporation which are not violative of the provisions of this code, provided that preferred shares of stock may be issued only with a stated par value. The Board of Directors, where authorized in the Articles of Incorporation, may fix the terms and conditions of preferred shares of stock or any series thereof, provided that such terms and conditions shall be effective upon the filing of a certificate thereof with the Securities and Exchange Commission. Shares of capital stock issued without par value shall be deemed fully paid and non-assessable, and the holder of such shares shall not be liable to the corporation or to its creditors in respect thereto, provided that shares without par value may not be issued for a consideration less than the value of 5 pesos per share, provided, further, that the entire consideration received by the corporation for its no par value shares shall be treated as capital and shall not be available for distribution as dividends. A corporation may, furthermore, classify its shares for the purpose of ensuring compliance with constitutional or legal requirements. Except as otherwise provided in the Articles of Incorporation and stated in the Certificate of Stock, each share shall be equal in all respects to every other share. Where the Articles of Incorporation provide for non-voting shares in the cases allowed by this code, the holders of such shares shall nevertheless be entitled to vote on the following matters. 1. Amendment of the Articles of Incorporation. 2. Adoption and amendment of bylaws. 3. Sale, lease, exchange, mortgage, pledge or other disposition of all or substantially all of the corporate property. 4. Incurring, creating or increasing bonded indebtedness. 5. Increase or decrease of capital stock. 6. Merger or consolidation of the corporation with another corporation or other corporations. 7. Investment of corporate funds in another corporation or business in accordance with this code, and 8. Dissolution of the corporation. Except as provided in the immediately preceding paragraph, the vote necessary to approve a particular corporate act as provided in this code shall be deemed to refer only to stocks with voting rights. Section 7. Founders' shares. Founders' shares classified as such in the Articles of Incorporation may be given certain rights and privileges not enjoyed by the owners of other stocks, provided that where the exclusive right to vote and be voted for in the election of directors is granted, it must be for a limited period not to exceed 5 years subject to the approval of the Securities and Exchange Commission. The 5-year period shall commence from the date of the aforesaid approval by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Section 8. Redeemable shares. Redeemable shares may be issued by the corporation when expressly so provided in the Articles of Incorporation. They may be purchased or taken up by the corporation upon the expiration of a fixed period, regardless of the existence of unrestricted retained earnings in the books of the corporation, and upon such other terms and conditions as may be stated in the Articles of Incorporation, which terms and conditions must also be stated in the certificate of stock representing said shares. Section 9. Treasury shares. Treasury shares are shares of stock which have been issued and fully paid for, but subsequently reacquired by the issuing corporation by purchase, redemption, donation or through some other lawful means. Such shares may again be disposed of for a reasonable price fixed by the Board of Directors.